During the live stream, this is going to get going. You're in the right place. Yes. Good. Okay. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. It's Ben Grosscup with the People's Music Network. So we've been doing these live streams for like 5 years, and what an anniversary. We're here tonight to talk about songs of struggle for a country and world in crisis. That's kind of what the People's Music Network is about, is singing songs about the world we're living in today, and trying to be a community that supports one another, and writing these songs and sharing these songs, having them heard. To that effect, you can share the live stream of this evening's program. I'll put the information in the chat in case you want to share this with friends, put it on Facebook or whatever. And the other thing I want to tell folks about is there's a big convergence coming up later this month. We're going to be in person in New York City, January 24th through 26th. There's also going to be an online component of the event as well. There'll be song swaps, Zoom only song swaps happening, as well as a number of discussions happening in person, and including people from the Zoom audience, the Zoom participant list. It used to be that we did these gatherings all in person for so long, and then we were like, well, people are geographically far away, and there was this whole new group of people who came into PMN to participate in the Zoom events that we started back about 5 years ago. And so we're going to be having some conversations about not only our music, but the very way we share the music. So one of the workshops, for instance, on Saturday morning is going to be led by Charlie King, Tret Fury, and Annie Patterson, members of our community who've been doing a lot of performing online. And we're going to be talking about, just the role of like online performance as a part of what we do as musicians. But definitely check it out at peoplesmusic.org if you have not checked it out already, the program, because there's a lot to see up there. Tonight we have a little bit smaller participation list than we sometimes have. So we said, if you'd like, do a second song. We'd love to have you share a little more tonight. Normally it's usually just one song, but we'll keep some of the same things going, like offering verbal encouragement to the person we heard perform just before us. And then throughout the evening, use the chat box to encourage one another. Some of you have videos that I have ready to play. And I'm really excited to invite our first performer for the evening, Bet Paget, to come on. And Bet, looking forward to hearing what you have to share. Tell us how you're doing.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
It's cold down here in North Carolina. Going to get colder, but I'm hanging in there. Waiting to see what happens in a couple of weeks, as we all are. I'm sort of sitting on the edges of the chairs, and the first song, actually both songs that I'm singing tonight, sort of deal with our new administration and what is going to perhaps take place. So this is a song that I actually wrote about 4 years ago during Trump's first administration, but I see that it might be happening again. This is called Don't Take My Child From Me. Don't take my child from me. Hear a mother's plea. We're such a long way from our home. Don't take my child from me. Don't separate our family. Please don't send me away. There is a wall between you and I. It runs both tall and high. It's the barrier between my child and me, and within my heart it lies. Think of your ancestors when they landed on these shores, why they left their country and what they came here for. I come for these same reasons, to flee from bitter strife, seeking shelter from oppression, and to find a better life, to find a better life. Natives were driven from their homeland. Thousands went to their graves. Those who sweated for the master would rather die than be enslaved. I'm reminded of those before me when I hear the painful cries of husbands, sons, and daughters taken from their mothers' eyes, from red and swollen weeping eyes. Hear a mother's plea, don't treat me like an animal and tear my child from me.
Bravo! Bravo! Thank you for that first song.
So this is one that I wrote about January 6th, which was an insurrection. And although there might be a peaceful transfer to our new administration, I still fear that there might be an insurrection of a different kind. This is called May We Never Live Through This Again. Hold on. I will never understand how the gun got in his hand. All his neighbors said he was so shy and quiet. He's not the only troubled man. There are many more like him. Lately we've seen thousands of others. Don't want to see this again. Want our country to mend. May there never be an echo of that moment. There is trouble in our land. Want this conflict to end. May I never live through this again. We are divided on our soil. Tensions flare, tempers boil. We've lost so many sons and daughters. I've lit candles, I've said prayers, I'm not getting anywhere. I feel like nobody's listening. Don't want to see this again. Want our country to mend. May there never be an echo of that moment. There is trouble in our land. I want this conflict to end. May I never live through What is the cause of all the strife? Who is wrong? Who is right? Can't we listen to each other's side? If conversations begin, can both sides take it on the chin? Will we promise to hear every word? We need good laws, we need new bills, we need leaders on the hill to make this the last insurrection. We can't just change things with hope. We must get out and vote. Let them know we won't stand for this again. Don't want to see this again. Want our country to mend. May there never be an echo of that moment. There is trouble in our land. Want this conflict to end. May I never live through this again. Let us rise up from the dark. Make a statement, leave a mark, so we never have to live through this again.
Thank you, Bet. Beautiful. Do you want to say anything more about the songs or yourself?
I've been writing songs since 1989, and started writing songs mostly about the environment and animal rights, and then it has evolved to all different kinds of songs. But I am very concerned about what's going on in our world, and I really think that music is a way to express ourselves, that people might be more apt to listen to songs of protest and what's going on in the country and the world if they're put to music, to melodies. I think it might capture more ears that way.
Thank you, Bet.
For this opportunity.
Yeah, and I love it when people put into the chat, their reactions. Linda Allen wrote, "Wow, Beth, beautiful playing and lyrics. So glad to hear you."
Thanks, Linda.
So keep those coming. Our next performer is Rick Ward. Rick, let's see where you're at here. There you are. Come on the stage, my friend. We got to get that original sound on. Because can't hear your beautiful guitar.
Get rid of that original sound.
Well, we want to turn it on. All right.
Okay, now we got it.
There we go.
Cool. Well, am I on? Am I up?
You're on.
Okay, cool. I want to say it's a little hard to hear, so I had to move the phone closer. But Beth is wonderful. From what I could hear, it was articulate. It had the integrity of poetry, and it had the class of good communication and great musicianship, and just, I want to hear more. I'm a fan already. That was great.
It was about Bet Paget. Oh yeah, because I think someone might have heard Beth, but it's actually Bett. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
And also, I can't make my external speaker work when I'm on this, and I don't have the headphones hooked up to my phone. This is an odd thing, so I couldn't. The volume's a little low.
Well, at least we hear you. Thank you.
All right, good.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so if we have room for 2 songs, if they're short,
yeah, that'd be great.
Then what I'll do is I'll play first. It's going to be a spoken word thing, which it's really one song, and the original idea was just a cappella, and I've done it before, but these are 2 halves of the same song, and I'm just gonna do it. And he's wearing the crown of a fool, wearing the crown of a fool. For fortune and favor, he broke all the rules. Now he's wearing the crown of a fool. For there are shackles and chains on his soul, made out of silver and gold. He made untold riches on the blood of the poor, or maybe spoils of war. Turn around, or else you ain't gonna find it. That's one thing for sure. You'd be much better off with one slice of bread, or a taste of the water from the river instead. The one that's flowing fresh and crisp and cool and clean from the mountain. And there's a crown for the simple and true, who don't mind if they get the blues sometimes. 'Cause if you do it for love, you just cannot lose. And there's a crown for the simple and true, but he's wearing the crown of a fool. Wearing the crown of a fool. For fortune and favor, he broke all the rules. Now he's wearing the crown of a fool. Turn around, or else you ain't gonna find it. That's one thing for sure. You'd be much better off with one slice of bread, or a taste of the water from the river instead. For a taste of the water from the river instead. So that one is not going to be on any record. It's not going to be posted anywhere. That was I just had to write that. Sometimes you got to write what's in your heart, to write what's near the top to get to the one that's underneath. And that's what happened. I realized I got to moderate my message and try to speak to common ground. That's the whole idea. So I wrote this, and this is my new song. And goes something like this here. I wrote this one while I was painting the house too. Living in the land of the free, freedom and justice and liberty. Made a few mistakes, I know what she can be. And my neighbors mostly feel the same as me. And I'm living in the land of the free. Although it was built on slavery, the songs of freedom rang out from sea to shining sea. And that's the one thing that we could all agree. America, America. Don't you know my great-great-great-grandfather sailed across the sea? He made a better life for you and for me. Wife and his children in the land of the free. Talking about America, America. Some of our great-great-grandfathers sailed across the sea, and they made a better life for you and for me. In the coal mines and the cotton fields in the land of the free. Did a little more picking at the end of the day. Break out the fiddle and the mandolin. Everybody come on in. Sing out the joy of life. Maybe pick and grin. Somebody sing and pray. Buddy, that's the one thing they can't take away. Sing it with me, living in the land of the free. Come on. And I'm living in the land of the free. Freedom and justice. Freedom and justice and liberty. Let the songs of freedom rise up. The songs of freedom rise up. From sea to shining sea. 'Cause that's one thing we can all agree. One thing we can all agree. Talking about America. It's my homeland. I will stand up for her honor. Come on, tell the truth. Let's put our hands to the work that we have to do. Listen up. This is the heart of America. This is the heart of America. Talking to you.
Bravo! Thank you, Rick. Beautiful music.
Thank
Let's
you.
bring on our next performer. His name is Steve Siegelbaum. Welcome, Steve.
Hi, Ben. Hi, everybody. Rick, I love both of those. And I especially like in both songs the development of the melody. In the first song, where you come in with turn around. I love what happens there. And similarly, in the second song, when you come with America, you make that melodic change, and it works wonderfully well. In addition to which, I also love the way, especially that second one, the heartfelt delivery. I thought you were really into it, and I love that.
I am. Thank you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So a song I have, this was written, well, I think Bet said she started writing songs in 1999. This one was written in 2000. And sad to say, it's even far more relevant now than it was in 2000. No more guns. I've had occasion to write a couple other no guns songs since, but this was the first one I wrote. And there's a couple of references that I updated, but the song does come from 2000. Flint, Michigan, a little first grader is dead. Poverty's bullets found her head. But guns don't kill, somebody said. It's 6-year-olds do the shooting instead. In the name of the children throughout the land, no more guns. In the name of the children we demand no more guns. 22 bullets litter the street, 19 more for Amadou to keep. 4 cops knowing that his life is cheap. As we sow, so shall we reap. In the name of the black men throughout the land, no more guns. In the name of the black men, we demand no more guns. Columbine's flower meets a premature fade. Young people taught how to shoot and to hate. When profit rules, kids know they don't rate. For the dead, it's already too damned late. For the in the name of the parents throughout the land, no more guns. In the name of the parents, we demand no more guns. Parkland, Uvalde, Ukraine, and Iraq. Arms manufacturers on the attack, addicted to weaponry like it was crack. It's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. In the name of the people throughout the land, no more guns. In the name of the people, we demand no more guns. Too many have suffered, too many have died, while the gun lobby serves up its dollars and lies, and politicians just go along for the ride. And we are consumed in the blood-drenched tide. In the name of the people throughout the land, no more guns. In the name of the people, we demand no more guns.
Bravo. Beautiful first song. Thank you.
Wow. Steve, I just thought that was a wonderful song. I love your voice and I love the message. We just so need songs like that. And here in our house, we were all singing along the chorus with you. No more guns. So very singable, good song. Thank you.
And do you have one more,
Thank you.
Steve?
Yeah, I could do another one. A little bit more recent. This is called Secondhand Time. And it speaks, I guess it also speaks to the current moment. I think I wrote it during Trump's first administration. So sorry to say it's still with us. Lie on my back, looking up at the stars. Red planet rising, is it Venus or Mars? The midnight sky is a wonder divine, unshackled by second-hand time. Second-hand time, second-hand time. Clocks not ticking in rhythm or rhyme. Calendar pages fly from the wall. Catch them, don't let them fall. Take care not to leave the future behind. Life is not lived in second-hand time. The timetables posted are way out of date. The limo that brought them arrived much too late. The guilty are never convicted of crimes. The innocent sentenced to second-hand time. Second-hand time, second-hand time. Clocks not ticking in rhythm or rhyme. Calendar Calendar pages fly from the walls. Catch them, don't let them fall. Take care not to leave the future behind. Life is not lived in second-hand time. The loudmouth clown and his partner the fool admire each other in the reflecting pool. No need to get caught up in their verbal slime. They speak in the language of second-hand time. The world seems to spin like a rotating door. Be certain that you've never done this before. Year after year, the same mountain we climb, Sisyphus condemned to second-hand time. Second-hand time, second-hand time, clock's not ticking in rhythm or rhyme. Calendar pages fly from the walls, catch them, don't let them fall. Take care not to leave the future behind. Life is not lived in second-hand time. When we pass on, as surely we must, many believe we remain more than dust. So send not to know for whom the bells chime. They chime for thee in second-hand time. They chime for thee in second-hand time.
Wow, thanks so much, Steve. Really, you are a master of lyrics, and you present them well. Thank you so much. You do, babe. I'm not hearing you.
Oh, yes. Paul Kaplan wrote in second-hand time. Great lyrics. Thank you. Doug Hendren, fine song and great chorus for singing along. And Louise said, what an auditory treat. Excellent songs tonight from all. Back to you, Linda.
Okay. Well, I have two things to offer. The first is a song called Good Trouble, with thanks to John Lewis and James Baldwin, who came up with that term. And if you want to sing along, there's a line that keeps coming around called Make Trouble, Make Good Trouble. Seems rather fitting right now. What do you do when your back is against the wall? Make trouble, make good trouble. What do you do when you think that you've lost it all? Make trouble, make good trouble. What do you do and what do you say when they're taking all your rights away? You make trouble, oh yeah, make good trouble. What do you do when the politicians rig the game? Make trouble, make good trouble. When they lie and sigh and call you out by name, make trouble, make good trouble. What do you do and what do you say when they're taking all your rights away? You make trouble, oh yeah, make good trouble. What do you do when they take all your dreams away? Make trouble, make good trouble. Here most of your life, but they want you to go away. Make trouble, make good trouble. Don't hit the streets with a song and a prayer, and you'll find your allies everywhere. You make trouble, oh yeah, make good trouble. What do you do when they take away your vote? Make trouble, make good trouble. Hit the street, we're all in the same damn boat. Make trouble, make good trouble. What do you do and what do you say when they're taking all your rights away? You make trouble, oh yeah, make good trouble. This ain't new, we know the drill. Make trouble, make good trouble. Those gone before us are marching still. Make trouble, make good trouble. They're with us now, we hear their voice. Make trouble, make good trouble. Raise up the fist, make some noise. Make trouble, make good trouble. What do you do and what do you say when they're taking all your rights away? You make trouble, oh yeah, make good trouble. You make trouble, oh yeah, make good trouble. The second one is really with thinking about the fires in Los Angeles and that whole area and the devastating effects. And I wrote some time back a chant called, it's a small chant called Ashes and Smoke. And so I'm going to play a short video because there's also a circle dance with it. And I will just have it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. If you want any more details, you're welcome to email me and I'll try to send you better directions. But this is very homemade. We just did it. Okay. Hi, my name is Linda Allen, and some years ago I created a simple chant called Ashes and Smoke, and then later created a simple circle dance to go with the chant. So I'm going to teach you in 2 clips. The first clip is instructional for just what the motions are for the circle dance, and then the second clip will be showing you how it would look as part of a circle dance, in which you would need at least 4 people, 2 couples, or more. You can fill up a room with a circle dance. And it goes out along with my heartfelt blessings and thoughts and tears for the people of Southern California who have lost so much to the fires.
We have been burned, burned by the fire, and we are ashes, ashes and smoke. But we will rise higher and higher on the wings of compassion, justice and hope.
Now in the second clip, I'm going to invite my husband Scott to come and join me to show you the moves of how it would look as part of a circle dance, how you would move from one partner to the next. And we will be ending with our backs to each other, and that's because we will be facing a new partner at that point. So hope this is clear. If not, please feel free to email me and I'll try to explain it better. But thank you, Scott, for helping.
We have been burned, burned by the fire, and we are ashes, ashes and smoke. But we will rise higher and higher on the wings of compassion, justice and hope.
Bravo. Beautiful. I do want to see a whole group doing that, that dance and that song together. It's, I think, including dance is very important in protest actions. And do you want to say anything more about how you've used that song and the dance, or just thoughts about bringing song and dance together in this moment of grief for what's happening in Los Angeles and beyond?
Well, I know it's been used a number of times, and I've heard from friends who've talked about various groups doing it, and this wasn't just for this fire, but for previous fires as well. And if you go on YouTube, there's a Portland group that did it, and you can see a whole group doing it. It's a little different motions, a little different song. It's folk process, but the one I just showed is the way that I do it. Yeah, I think that's it. And I do believe in the power of putting together motion and song. Yeah, it can be very healing. That's my hope.
Yeah, Steve wrote in, the dance and song work so beautifully together here. And Bet Paget said the song and circle dance, lovely. I definitely will be looking this up. So thanks for sharing it tonight, Linda.
Thank you.
And this is not the only song that's going to be talking about the fires in LA. And I really love it when people can share fresh stuff or like newly conceived stuff on these swaps. What a beautiful thing to have a space for that. Paul Kaplan is our next performer. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, everybody. So Linda, thanks for those lovely songs, and I think John Lewis would have loved to hear that first one. That was just beautifully put, and I love the idea of the emotions you had for the second song. I'm sure people really enjoy that, and it's so hopeful. So hopeful. In fact, the song that I decided to do a second song is going to be on the same subject. So, but I'm all set up for this first one, so I'll start with this. Back in the mid '80s, I was Ben. Can you hear me okay? Because we didn't do a sound check.
Great. It's perfect.
Oh, okay, great. We did I was in Greenwich Village a lot of the time. I was living in New York, and one day, Christine Lavin, who some of you are familiar with, said to me, "Do you have any Christmas songs? Because I want to get a bottom line show of local people doing Christmas songs." And I said, "No, but I'll write one." And I did. And then she didn't have the show. The only time I've ever known Christine Lavin not to succeed. but I ended up with a song, and this was during the Reagan time, and they were having the Star Wars up in the sky, and everybody was excited about that. And I wrote a song that was basically two nativities, and I recently rewrote it. I rewrote at least the second verse because I wanted to update it, because it needed to be updated. This is one of those songs that it points to a problem and doesn't necessarily give you a solution. It just tries to provoke outrage, especially in the second verse. It's called Christmas Morn. A child was born, it was on Christmas morn. Who could know what he'd grow up to be? His mother, she loved him and thought the world of him. The year was 0 BC. Up in the heavens a star did appear, high over Bethlehem on a midnight so clear. Down below with their gifts the three magi drew near, that marvelous child to see, that marvelous child to see. A child was born, it was on Christmas morn, 2024 AD. His mother was poor, and the wolf at the door said, "Your baby is coming with me." Up in their towers, the billionaires cheer, with our man in the White House, it's Christmas all year, while the poor mother cries as the wolf slouches near. Oh, where can the wise men be? Where can the wise men be? A child was born, it was on Christmas morn. Who could know what he'd grow up to be? So that's the latest version of that song.
Bravo.
So I'm going into this funny F tuning. And this is a song I wrote a year after 9/11, and it was a metaphor. And it's called After the Fire. And then it turns out that the metaphor is now literal. Since that time, there's been a great increase in damaging and disastrous fires, and maybe the worst of which is going on right now. So this is a follow-up to Linda's song. If anybody's interested, both of these songs are on YouTube. I'll put the links in at the end. This one was actually performed by a local chorus that I'm part of, and in 4-part harmony. So if you want to look at that in expanded form, I'll put that link up. After the fire, the tears fell like rain, where tall trees had stood. Whoops, that's not right. Thank you. I'll start again. After the fire, the tears fell like rain, where tall trees had stood. There was nothing but pain, a forest of green was turned into ash. The world that we knew disappeared in a flash. After the fire, we gathered around, searching for signs of life on the ground. The earth looked so bare, as dead as can be, but something was there that nobody could see. Slowly a seed under our feet started to stir, woken up by the heat. It sent down a root to help it hold tight. It sent up a shoot to reach for the light. Seedlings will grow, trees will stand tall, though we'll always know how far they can fall. But nothing can kill the will to survive. After the fire, there is so much alive. Seedlings will grow, trees will stand tall. Oh, we'll always know how far they can fall. But nothing can kill the will to survive. After the fire, there is so much alive. After the fire, there is so much alive.
Bravo, bravo, Paul. Thank you so much. I love that song.
Thank you as well, and thanks for doing this, Ben. I hope to see a lot of you at the in New York next week at the People's Music Network meeting.
I'm looking forward to seeing you there, Paul.
Yeah.
Tell folks what you're looking forward to.
I'm look I'm looking for. I haven't looked at actually the workshops, except I know there's some choral workshops, which I'm really looking forward to. And it doesn't matter. I always have a wonderful time, and I see old friends, and I'm hoping, Ben, that there's a place to park because some of us will be coming by car.
There is a parking lot there.
Oh, good.
Just
I remember
very close
that.
to the school. So you got to watch out for the congestion pricing. That's since, I think, the first.
It turns out you can come in on the 59th Street Bridge, but for free. If you leave, it costs you $9.
Yeah.
Because you go to 59th Street to get on. Anyway, I'll let things move along. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Paul. I hope folks will come join us in New York City at the end of the month. Louise Hetzler, you are our next performer.
Oh, Paul,
Welcome.
that was so beautiful. Thank you. I want to say, Paul, that was so touching, moving, and my song, I guess, is a good follow-up because it's also about the fires, and I wrote it a few days ago. It's also, the title is very much the same wording that you used. It's called Stay Alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been following the fires on the live stream on my phone, and on Saturday there was a news story that moved me to tears, and then another one that moved me to tears. So I wrote a song incorporating both of these. It's a very short song, but so sing along on the chorus. Stay alive. California wildfires, day number 5. Asked by the governor, Mexicans arrive. One was questioned on the runway by Telemundo. This was his reply: I'm glad to be here to help my brothers and my sisters. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, and thrive. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, and thrive. I'm sorry, I had a spam call come in. I don't know if that muted me.
We heard it.
Oh, you heard it. Okay. I pressed the button on the spam call to get rid of it. Sorry about that. Okay. A man with a wife and daughter, burnt out and living in fear, went to find donations and became a volunteer. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, and thrive. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, and thrive.
Thank you, Louise.
Thank you. So, for my second song, I'm going to do a song that I wrote a few days after the insurrection. Some of you may have heard this before. At the time, I remember that Trump said something like, go home, we love you, you're very special. And that, as they say, stuck in my craw. So I came up with a song called The Special Ones. You stood on the You stood on the stairway, You trampled in Trump's name. The hallowed halls of Congress will never be the same. You ransacked the temple, took selfies on your phones, your lungs filled with tear gas, your ears with shouts and moans. Go home with your nooses, go home with your guns. Remember how we love you, you are the special ones. I'm gonna do this a cappella, let's do it. Anti-Semites and neo-Nazis, white supremacists and more. You smashed in the windows, there's glass on the floor. The election was stolen, you feel it to your core. Go back where you came from, you're welcome here no more. Go home with your nooses, go home with your guns. Remember how we love you, you are the special ones. The FBI is on the move, arrests are being made. Your days in the sun have quickly turned to shade. What you did was criminal, let's call a spade a spade. Go back where, democracy survived, we will not let it fade. Go home with your nooses, go home with your guns. Remember how we love you, you are the special ones. Go home with your nooses, go home with your guns. Remember how we love you, you are the special ones. Thank you.
Bravo.
I
Thank
want
you,
to say,
Louise.
thank you. I want to say that I got to sing this song for my representative on the first anniversary of the insurrection. I called the office, Jim McGovern, and I told the person who answered that I had a song that I would like to sing, and I actually sang it for her and left the message to have him give me a call, and I would sing it for him. So the phone rang,
No,
and
nice.
I thought it was a telemarketer, so I didn't answer. And then I can hear him leaving a message. This is Jim McGovern, blah, blah. So I hurried up and I called him and I sang him the song.
Sweet.
And afterwards he said, he really liked the song and he said it really painted a picture, which was, it's a high compliment to a songwriter when you can paint a picture so clearly with a song and the person,
I like
you
her.
know,
What's her name?
gets meaning from it. So that was very, very
Louise
meaningful for me.
Hetzler.
Thank you, Louise.
That's really cool.
Well, thank you so much for those songs, Louise. And as we bring on our next performer, Doug Hendren, I just wanted to say, Doug, but I'll get out of the way here and you can say something to Louise. But I, as I was putting together the songs for today, I was appreciating that you had contributed a song for today that was about something so recent with the Los Angeles fires, clearly written recently. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Louise, my wife and I are watching you, just marveling
Really nice.
at what lovely stories you've just told. And they roll off very easily.
A confident singing voice. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't expect that this would be the only song that had something to do with the LA fires tonight. It's such a huge event, I think, for all of us. But it's a little odd to go through the process of writing a song, publishing it, making a video of it, and the fires still aren't put out yet. Anyway, this is called Make the Angels Weep. It comes from a line from Shakespeare. Is it Measure for Measure? Man, proud man, makes the angels weep. Anyway. Palisades in ashes, wondering where it went. All the fire in paradise, it isn't an accident. You're looking at a crime scene, no matter how it's spun. Petroleum racketeers are showing you how it's done. filling up their pockets. They make the angels weep. Might have saved it all. Just too damn cheap. They say it's all economics. They're smarter than you or me. But you know, without a living world, there's no economy. They're saying Happy New Year while LA's burning down. And arsonists in Washington are planning another round, filling up their pockets, make the angels weep. Might have saved it all. Just too damn cheap. Big oil lobbyists, they love to write our laws. They've known for 50 years the trouble it will cause. Burn it all for money, their profit is our loss. You can't count the cost. You can't count the cost. If you're not drunk on power, you can hear the little voice. Only got an hour, but you still can make a choice. This land of milk and honey, yeah, let it wash away. Trade it all for money or push the other way. Don't let them fill their pockets. Don't make the angels weep. You might save it all if we're not so cheap.
Bravo.
It's hard to believe. That started with an article by Jamie Henn, who's a bit of a public figure now. But he made and I finished it with a quote. The video that I put out on my website on this and ended with a quote, or a quote of his is in there somewhere. It's time we start recognizing the altered climate as a crime. It's been vigorously opposed by a well-funded, huge industry for 50 years, and they've been really good at it. So, and we're all in trouble because of that. Anyway, this next song is called Everglades Rolling In. It's the governor referred to, and in one of the verses at that point was Rick Scott, although it would go equally well for Ron DeSantis, I suppose.
Of Florida. Yeah.
Of Florida, governor of Florida, yeah. Alligators in my driveway, they're getting underneath my skin. I got snake in the closet. Anytime the tide comes in, there's a python in my backyard. You're driving me to drink 25-pound catfish, living in the kitchen sink. You know I move out tomorrow, but every time I try, I put it on the market. Nobody wants to buy the Everglades are rolling tell me I've nothing there to fear. Just because the bayou getting higher every year, you can't talk about the water. The governor's made it clear. You can't talk about tomorrow. It's a dirty word down here. The Everglades are rolling in. All those hotels in Miami, better build them while you can. Right up to the minute when the science hits a fan. It's a dirty little secret all over town that water's coming up, the real estate's going down. The mosquitoes have a field day, fly any place they please. Introduce your neighbor to tropical disease, but I don't want no trouble for the economy. So let's just keep it between you and me. The Everglades are rolling in. The Everglades are rolling in.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Oh, Doug, thank you so much for those two songs addressing the climate crisis. I just want to read a few comments from the chat before we bring on Michael and Nell, our next performer. But Steve Siegelbaum said, "This is really great, Doug." I think he was saying his brother lives in Pasadena. He wanted the lyrics. I said, "Oh, here's the lyrics right in the link." So I put that in the chat. That's also linked to on the live streams if you check the descriptions. So important to share these songs. And then
Music.
said, "Great song." So much appreciated, Doug, for sharing those songs with us tonight.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Let's hear from Michael and Nell. Welcome, Michael and Nell. As they're unmuting.
Are we unmuted?
We hear you.
Okay, great. Those were wonderful songs. Wow.
Yeah, great, very much.
I am very impressed. Those are really good songs. And there was one line that we picked up on in the first song. It was kind of a fun line. The arsonists in Washington. Wow. How true, how true.
How true, how true. And don't talk, we're in Tennessee, we're in Nashville. Don't talk to us about Rick Scott. He got run out of the state, you know. He ran HCA and he got sent away because of all the corruption and scandals that he did here. And then he ended up in your state, you lucky people. But that was great. It was really fine writing there, Doug.
Really
we really appreciated it.
Good writing. You get compliments like that from people in Nashville, you know you're doing good. That's absolutely
Not
true.
that you would ever get a song like that recorded in Nashville.
No.
Well, we put out our album here. It did go to number 5, and we had quite a bit to say on it. But it was
On the folk chart.
It was on the folk chart.
Yeah.
We weren't trying to get on
The big money, you know.
Yeah, the big money chart. Folk music. We didn't try to get it on the country chart or anything like that. But okay.
So we got a couple of songs for you, and First one is one that Nell wrote about her mother.
This is my mother's true story, and it seems relevant because we're talking today about getting people who are illegal immigrants out of this country. My mother was an illegal immigrant into this country, and she came from a country, a beautiful country called Finland, and that's where she came from. And this is her story, and it's called The Old Country.
Big issue with your audio. I think we're gonna have to stop that. Hold on, that's not working. Here we go. Okay, so Michael and Nell, just so you know that we had big distortion there for a minute, and then it went away, it seems. So maybe bring it from the beginning of the song. Let's try it again. Good.
She left the land of 10,000 lakes where the midnight sun shone bright. Crossed the border in a boat, middle of the night. Only 22, she left her life behind to come to America with a dream of life so blind. She could not speak much English, but she had to find work. Her sister said, "Don't be a maid, they'll treat you like dirt." So she went down to a factory with rats and decay and worked her 9 hours for too little pay. She never found the American dream that was in her plan. The grass was always greener in her native land. Oh, her feet were in America, but her heart was far away. She dreamed of the old country every single day. She traveled west to Washington, where the trees are tall. Met my dad and married him late one fall. Became a U.S. citizen after many years, but her longing for the old country, it never disappeared. Mom never found the American dream that was in her plan. The grass was always greener in her native land. Oh, her feet were in America, but her heart was far away. She dreamed of the old country every single day. She took us to her homeland to see family and friends, but she got sick while we were there and soon faced the end. She wrote in her last letter, "I sent you my kiss. Never forget the old country, this is my final wish." Oh, 32 years in America, but she's no longer sad. She's lying in her grave beside her mother and dad. She finally found the peace that she was looking for. Back in the old country, she'll rest there evermore. Mom finally found the peace that she was looking for. Back in the old country, she'll rest there evermore.
Okay, and that's the old country.
It's a true story.
And
Just to let you know what happened was, my mother wrote me that letter, and when she died, never forget the old country. And I ignored it for years, and then finally my cousin over there found me after looking for me for 10 years. And so me and Michael finally went there, went to Finland. And I met about 35 of my relatives. It was incredible. So.
yeah, we had a great time over there. They closed down a restaurant and took it over to have a dinner for us.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yep. They gave us so many presents. She had 35 relatives, and they gave us so many presents, we had to get another suitcase to take them all back home with us. So,
Okay.
this is a song in compliance with the short song request. This is actually the shortest song on our CD. This is called Election Year Rag. It's an old song by Steve Goodman. Excuse me. Okay, a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, come on, babe, won't you take a chance? Your papa's gonna show you a brand new dance. Shovel on down, now don't you be no drag, and do that election year rag. Take 2 steps to the left and 2 steps to the right, then you stand in the middle and you hang on tight. Come on down now, don't feel bad, do that election year rag. Jump on that old bandwagon, here's what we're gonna do. Go down to the precinct captain's house this morning and scarf up some lame duck stew. Why don't you cry, don't shed no tears, you know it only comes around every 4 years. I'm your dark horse and you're my nag, do that election year rag. If you feel like you need a scorecard, well, you really don't have to fuss. You know that the winner is always somebody else and the loser is always us. Well, shake it to the east, shake it to the west, hand me down my bulletproof vest. It's nobody's choice and it's anybody's guess. Do that election, make your selection, do that election year rag, all right.
Bravo. Thank you so much, Michael and Nell. Beautiful singing, beautiful playing. Just want to add from the chats, Linda Allen writing, I was very moved by your story, Nell. I think that was referring to the first song. And then Bet Paget said, loved hearing you, that the election year song was quite fun. I agree. Very, very lovely. Thank you for coming on. Great to hear you guys.
Thank
do
you
the
for
songs.
having us.
We have Andy Antipin coming in. Welcome, Andy. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Maybe share a word or two with Michael and Nell, and then tell us about your song. Are you there, Andy? I am not hearing you. Is anyone else hearing Andy? No, I don't think so. So, but you're not muted. So that's a little peculiar. Okay, hey, there you go, Andy.
Yeah, okay. I think I found the original for musicians.
Good.
Just a matter of scrolling down further.
Exactly. And then you also need to, there's another button that to turn it on is in the upper right corner. You enable it and then you turn it on in the upper right corner. It's going to say, if you start putting your mouse around the upper right corner, it's going to say original sound for musicians, and it will say on or off. You want it to be on.
Hold on a minute.
Great.
Uh,
One of those things we just have to do every time with Zoom if we're a musician. It's like brushing your teeth at night. It's turning on original sound.
will you say, I'm not seeing the thing in the upper right-hand corner of the whole screen or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Well, you kind of
I,
have to reveal the button even there, you have to sort of move your cursor around to find it. But let's yeah,
let's see. Can
yeah, we
you
hear you.
hear that?
It's okay. So did you get to hear Michael and Nell's music?
I'm not sure. I was busy messaging things and I had to turn off the computer for a while because it doesn't charge.
Well, you have a
And
song here. Is this who tell us who wrote this song?
this is Ewan McCall.
Beautiful.
And I'll brag a little bit here. Ewan's son is married to Peggy Seeger's manager. And of all the Ewan McCall songs that I've recorded on YouTube, she seemed to think that this was the best. So hopefully I can remember the words. In the morning we built the city. In the afternoon walked through its streets. Evening saw us leaving. We wandered through our days as if they would never end. All of us imagined we had endless time to spend. We hardly drew the pictures and small attention gave to the landmarks on the journey from the cradle to the grave, cradle to the grave, cradle to the grave. Did you learn to dream in the morning? Abandon dreams in the afternoon. Wait without hope in the evening. Did you stand there in the traces and let them feed you lies? Did you trail along behind them wearing blinkers on your eyes? Did you learn to keep your mouth shut? Did you and never heard? Did you learn to be obedient and jump to at a word? Jump to at a word, jump to at a word. Did you alter the face of the city? Make any change in the world you found? Did you observe all the warnings? Read the trespass notices? Did you keep off the grass? Did you shuffle off the pavement just to let your betters pass? Did you kiss the foot that kicked you? Did you thank them for their scorn? Did you ask of their forgiveness for the act of being born, act of being born, act of being born? Did you ever demand any answers? The who, the what, and the reason why? Did you ever question the setup? You stand aside and let them choose while you took second best. Did you let them skim the cream off and then give to you the rest? Did you settle for the shoddy and did you think it right to let them rob you left and right and never make a fight, never make a fight, never make a fight? What did you learn in the morning? How much did you know in the afternoon? Were you content in the evening? Did they teach you how to question when you were at the school? Did the factory help you grow? Were you the maker or the tool? Did the place where you were living enrich your life? And then did you reach an understanding with all your fellow men, all your fellow men, all your fellow men? There we go.
Bravo. Thank you, Andy.
Do we have enough time for another song? Or
Yeah, you can do another one. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm going to switch to piano here quickly and come up with a Lead Belly song. The story behind this is that Pete Seeger, Leadbelly, and Lowen Lomax were in Washington, D.C., and they were going to a party, and one of the neighbors yelled a racial insult. Excuse me. Yelled a racial insult, and Alan Lomax, I'm hoping this story is accurate, turned to Leadbelly and said, "Don't mind him, he's just bourgeois." And Leadbelly wasn't going to be placated that easily, and demanded to know what he meant. And I suspect it was Pete Seeger explained it to him, and Leadbelly sat down that night and wrote the Bourgeois Blues. Now me and my wife looked all over town. Everywhere we go, white folks who turn us down. It's a bourgeois town. It's a bourgeois town. I got the bourgeois blues. I'm gonna spread the news around. Now me and my wife, we were standing downstairs. I heard a white man shout, "Don't want no colored folks here." He's a bourgeois man, living in a bourgeois town. I got the bourgeois blues. I'm gonna spread the news around. The home of the brave, the land of the free. I don't want to be mistreated by no bourgeoisie. It's a bourgeois town. It's a bourgeois town. I got the bourgeois blues. I'm gonna spread the news around. Them rich folks in Washington, they know how tip a colored man a nickel just to see him bow, 'cause it's a bourgeois town. It's a bourgeois town. I got the bourgeois blues. I'm gonna spread the news around. Come all you colored folks, listen to me. Don't try to find no home in Washington, D.C., 'cause it's a bourgeois town. It's a bourgeois town. I got the bourgeois blues. I'm gonna spread the news around. There we go.
Bravo, Andy. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for hosting this.
Well, it's great to have you. The Ewan McCall song, I get the chance to comment on it. What I love about that song is its portrayal of working class life and kind of the ways in which the class structure denigrates people.
Yeah.
Really strips people of dignity.
Well, one of the funny things I thought was that Peggy told me that he was actually commissioned to write that song.
By whom?
I have no idea, but I thought it was kind of weird that that somebody would commission him to write a song like
Unless
that.
it was like a local communist party or something. I don't know. I mean,
or whatever.
Could be.
I mean, just quickly, one of the interesting things I think about him, the first song he ever wrote was actually a song that changed history. It was written for a demonstration that was called by the working class of Manchester. And in the history books, it's called the Mass Trespass at Kinder Scout. and they were protesting regulations that had just been made to prevent the working people from going wandering in the wilderness area. And a pitched battle broke out between the police and it's called the Manchester Rambler, the song that he wrote. And it was the first song he ever wrote. He was only 18 years old. And a pitched battle broke out between the police and the gameskeeper, who were the rent-a-cops of the rich people who didn't want the working class people traipsing through their gardens and things to go wandering in the wilderness. And 6 of them were sentenced to 6 to 8 months in prison for inciting the riot. But it started a movement, and outside of the national park in Manchester is a plaque commemorating the Manchester Rambler, the song, and the demonstration as being the official origin of the British National Park Service. Which I think is like incredible, you know.
Well, there you go. Working class struggle, achieving something, and the form of the something that lasts even.
I posted some links. I've been put in charge of there's 200 tapes from Swords into Plowshares that includes the 1986 PMN convention and the 35th anniversary of Sing Out concert and some other great recordings and stuff. I posted links earlier that.
Well, that's great. I took a look at those, the MP3s of different artists.
Yeah.
So that was a PMN event that was also marking the 35th anniversary of Sing Out magazine.
Yeah, I think that too, but there was a separate concert also that.
That's great.
So, you know.
That's an amazing thing about the history of People's Music Network, because it does go back to the late 70s in these different forms. You know, I've only been around since 2005 personally, so like I don't have that much contact with some of that deeper history. So thank you for bringing that.
Yeah.
With the archival work actually hasn't really been done, of like putting together like a full story of like what happened with this group PMN from its early beginnings to today. And there's a lot to archive.
Well,
thank you, Andy, so much.
If people want to email me at bluesmissionary@gmail.com, I can send them the other links. There's some great stuff by like Rod McDonald, and one of my favorites is Michael Cooney doing Malvina Reynolds' version of the Pied Piper song, and Tony Bird, who's one of my favorite all-time musicians. Also, there's some unreleased stuff. He made a 3rd album for Columbia Records that was never released. So that's stuff that nobody.
Thank you so much, Andy. And you can put your email in the chat as well, so people can reach out. But,
yeah, I'm trying to get rid of
appreciate
Paul.
you.
I've got a direct message to Paul. I'm trying to figure out how to.
I can help connect the two of you off of this meeting as well. So thank you so much, Andy. Well, we've made it through to the end. I'm putting myself at the end here, and thanks for sticking around for this. I'm going to do a song I wrote called "Shut Down the System." Now, actually, the chorus is written by Jason Baker, and the main reason I'm doing this song today. Well, part of it is I wrote a new bridge and I want to try it out. Well, actually, if you want to send me messages about like how you feel about the bridge, let me know. The other reason I'm singing this song is what it's about, which is the student movement that erupted on campuses all over the United States last year, occupying campus squares to protest the genocide in Gaza. For me, watching this movement was kind of like one of the most inspiring things that happened last year, because it was young people who had a vision for their lives, wanting to be doing something good with their lives and finding themselves nonetheless thwarted by their universities that were constantly invested in various corporations that are active in arming and abetting the Israeli army, the security establishment in Israel, etc. And there's so many ties between American universities, which are really big financial institutions, some of the bigger ones in particular, that kind of become like a money laundering scheme is kind of how American public education has really evolved over time. And our universities are less and less dedicated to the pursuit of higher education and more dedicated to these other things. So I was just really inspired by that movement. And I took a song that Jason Baker had written for with different verses, and I put in my own verses, but I think he had a great chorus here. And I think that what the students were doing was very much in line with this idea of becoming a disruptive presence and saying something about how our system works, the university, and how it is entwined with so many other systems has got to stop. So this is for the student movement that rose up last spring. I came here for school so I could be an engineer. Shut down the system now. They want to use me as a tool, designing high-tech weapons gear. Shut down the system now. But I want to use my brains for pursuits that bring me pride. Shut down the system now. Not making fighter planes for the Gaza genocide. Shut down the system now. Shut down the system now. Shut down the system now. Raise up your fist and show you can resist them. Shut down the system now. So I opened up my mind and earned a politics degree. Shut down the system now. And my professors tried to steer me to the US Embassy. Shut down the system now. Where the policy is made so Uncle Sam can be on top. Shut down the system now. Even if when we invade over 1 million bodies drop. Shut down the system now. We're gonna shut down the system now. Shut down the system now. Raise up your fist and show you can resist them. Shut down the system now. So I gave it one more try and got a master's in PR. Shut down the system now. And I learned a reason why campus debates are so bizarre. Shut down the system now. When students won't be swayed by standard Zionist cliches. Shut down the system now. There comes a Hasbara brigade to set their young careers ablaze. Shut down the system now. I poured myself into courses my professors set for me, seeking signs to guide my purpose, but I missed them. The Board of Trustees enforces the ideology of the US-led global military system. As my disenchantment grew with my university, shut down the system now. I realized it was true. I am much more than my degree. Shut down the system now. For I've learned to stand up for the oppressed in my own rights. Shut down the system now. Standing in the way of war in the campus square each night. Shut down the system now. We're gonna shut down the system. Come out and shut it down. Shut down the system. Shut it down for Palestine. Raise up your fist and show you can resist them. Shut down the system. Shut down the system. Shut down the system now. Thank you so much. That's the link to my YouTube in the chat. And do one last song here. So that last song, I'm going to be doing that at a rally on Monday, Inauguration Day here. And I live in Western Massachusetts. So in Springfield, Massachusetts, there's going to be a rally opposing the right-wing billionaire agenda of Trump and others. And I was asked to do this song, a song about a real alternative to the capitalist barbarism we find ourselves in. It's a song I wrote called "Let's Build a Socialist System." We are 7 billion people. We all have hopes and dreams. Most of us live under a capitalist regime. Some can make a killing, and others just get killed. But we don't have to live like this. There's an alternative to build. Let's build a socialist system. Make the dream come alive. We need a socialist system for the people to survive. Let's socialize the profits to help the people thrive. We need a socialist system for the people to survive. "7 billion people, how can we all succeed? Not by competition for the basic things we need. Not by exploitation of our dwindling natural wealth. We need a system that promotes cooperation and health. Let's build it, build a socialist system. Make the dream come alive. We need a socialist system for the people to survive. Let's socialize the profits to help the people thrive. We need a socialist system for the people to survive. Socialism means institutions based on care for everybody living and for the planet that we share. Confronting every oppression in the places where they live. Ensuring justice in the ways that people take and people give. The dream of socialism is rooted in the heart, and taking political power is an essential part. The rich will surely fight to maintain the wealth they stole. So we're gonna need a party to reach the socialist goal. Let's build it, build a socialist system. Make the dream come alive. We need a socialist system for the people to survive. Let's socialize the profits to help the people thrive. We need a socialist system for the people to survive. For the people to survive. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on the live stream. Hope to see you in New York City, January 24th through 26th, or see you on Zoom. Check it all out at peoplesmusic.org. Thank you for being a member of PMN and supporting this work. I'll cut the live stream, and those of us on Zoom can hang for a bit if we